I talk now to a guy called Luke Sharman, and for 2021 until 2023, so for a couple of years, we're not going to name the hotels, but they are Norfolk-based hotels. He worked in two of them. So thanks for joining us, Luke.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Now, tell us about what it was like. You were, as I understand it, you were like a night porter maintenance man, but you spent a lot of time standing in during the days because of staff shortages?
Yeah, as with a lot of the hotels, they go through staff. A lot of staff come, they get treated disrespected, obviously by the residents. They leave very quickly. Spending their nights and days, I got to see everything that went on. Obviously, you get to hear everything that goes on, and the stories that people don't realise is everyone thinks that these places are filled with people that are seeking safety. They're not. That's just not how it is. The majority of them are just they're not nice people. It's some people say it's not a fair thing to say, but it is. It's the truth, and that's what people need to know.
So did they, were they aggressive towards the staff? When you say they're not nice people, what do you actually mean?
Yeah, so on one occasion, there was a time where the food that was on offer, one of the residents didn't like it, and they actually assaulted a member of security just because they didn't like the food that was on offer.
Because they didn't like the free food?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
I mean, can they speak English?
Some of them can speak very little English. The majority of them speak no English, so trying to speak to them and trying to reason with them is just impossible. It makes it very difficult. How can these people integrate with us if they can't speak our language? It's just never going to happen.
And so is it behind these closed doors that we never get to see, that you used to work in, is there a lot of tension between the asylum seekers and the staff?
Yeah, there is a lot of staff. They felt, when they're at work, they felt on edge. They felt as if they, I don't know, a place of work should be like a second home in a sort of sense. And they weren't. They'd go to work and they'd be constantly looking around them. They'd be constantly listening to what people are saying because unfortunately, you don't know what these people are capable of.
And what do they get up to? I mean, we know that they're not allowed to work, so we always read stories and we hear stories of them just milling around all day, causing potentially trouble. But what as someone who worked behind the closed doors, what do they get up to most of the time?
I'll be totally honest. The majority of them, they do just sit there, watching the free TV, eating the free food on their free phones. But unfortunately, there is a large majority as well that they'd go out and they work for companies such as Just Eat and Deliveroo. All the bikes and stuff are stored around the back. So, they're not supposed to be here working. They've got no paperwork. They've got no identity, no photo ID, nothing. So what people can't get their head round is how are they getting these jobs in the first place.
So you witnessed this there, because this story of course is flared up in the last couple of weeks because the Sun did a bit of investigation, but you saw that when you were working at these places, the Deliveroo bikes all around the back.
Yeah, there was a couple of lads, they were working cash in hand at I believe it was a pizza and kebab shop just down the road from the hotel I was at. They'd go out each night, they'd come back 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, being night porter, I was the one to let them in. It was a regular thing. And
how did you personally get on with most of the migrants?
I'll be honest, the majority of them you could get on with. You could be, as to say, civil with them, and sometimes you could have a laugh with them. But if there was a problem to arise, you'll find that all of them sort of turn as one. Mm-hmm. So if you've got one person, they'll go into what's called a common room, which is where they all sit, and then obviously they'll all discuss it, and then within 10, 15 minutes, you've got loads of them all shouting at you, and yeah.
Right, and I was just telling this story before you came on, Luke, but I know that you said that when the asylum seekers turn up at the hotels that you worked at, their first difficult choice was to choose between an iPhone or a Samsung. They were offered two types of mobile phones, right?
Essentially, yeah. Yeah, they get given a cash allowance. That was £50 a week when I worked there, but I've now been told that apparently it's gone up to £70 a week. There's pensioners that are struggling to feed themselves, and they're struggling to heat their homes through the winter, and these people are just being given money to do absolutely nothing.
So they get free phones, 50 quid a week, 70 maybe now. I know it was 50 because that's the social security, that's the benefit money that they do get. God knows why, but they do. And you had regular visits from doctors and nurses from NHS visits?
They had NHS and dentists in. NHS were there pretty much every day, and dentists sort of come in once, twice a week.
Really?
They'd get an appointment quicker than what me and you could. So.
Well, so they come in and get their teeth done and their health checks?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And
it really is.
you were you responsible, because there are room searches, aren't there? Were you responsible for them?
I wasn't. No, that was down to security and housekeeping. There was one occasion, I'm pretty sure that you've probably seen the video where I discussed it. Housekeeping went into a room and they found one of our own knives from our own kitchens under one of the pillows. Now, there was either two ways that could have been retrieved, and that is through security, because they're the only people that had access to the kitchens other than us, or one of them has gone into the kitchen themselves, helped themselves to the knife, and taken it back upstairs.
And the room searches, they find drugs?
Yes, there was multiple times that there was cocaine and cannabis found in the rooms. One point, there was enough to say that they think they're involved in the supply.
So these people, I mean, if they're supplying that, they're dealing. I mean, that's a dreadful story. But even if they're not dealing, they're sitting around watching telly, eating free food, using their free phones, 70 quid a week, taking coke.
The funniest